Okay, good morning. My name is Sandra Milena Sierra Medina. This course is a methodology in foreign language teaching. Um, for this activity, I choose the learning vocabulary and context, and this is the phase 4 and scenario 3. Description of the course. This activity will be developed with second grade students of the school Ciudad de Cali. It seeks to implement vocabulary learning. Implement. For this activity, I choose the content-based instruction approach. The approach-based instructional content born during the 17th and 8th century about refers to an approach to teaching that is organized around the content or information that students will acquire. In whether the content refers to the topic what we learn or communicate through language instead of the language we wish we use to communicate. Approach. It is based on two fundamental principles. One, a second language is most successfully learned when it is used as a means of acquiring information and not for an end in itself. 2. Content-based instruction reflects students' best needs for learning a second language. It prepares a ISL students for academic study. 3. Text-based and speech-based language. Use of language built-in skills. Language has specific ends. The content is the starting point or the organized principle of the course. A language is successfully produced when a student is given material in the target language in a meaningful and contextualized what with the primary focus of acquiring information. It takes into account the final use that will be given to the target language. It is created with a high level of variety and content. This is the objectives. 1. Content learning is considered incidental. Activate and develop existing English language skills. Acquire learning skills and strategies that are applied in future language. Develop opportunities. Develop academic skills that apply to studies in all areas in a generalist way. Types of activities. 1. Improve language skills. Build vocabulary. Organize speeches. Communicate interaction. Synthesis of content and grammar. Okay, next. Student roles. The roles is There are autonomy to understand their own learning, collaborative learning mode, commitment, and is important psychological and cognitive preparation to face the CBA. Okay, next, teacher role. The teacher role is large amount of knowledge absorbed from their own students. Select and adapt material for use in the class. A list of student needs. Also, the material is important for this activity. Identify and use a wide variety of content such as newspaper articles, magazines, tourist guides, advertisements, radio, and television broadcast. The best method is the best method because the people learn a second language more successfully when they use the language as a means of acquiring information rather than as an end in itself. You say Scott, Collier, Grandin, Wish. Next, the use of information content which is perceived as relevant by the learning assumed by many to increase motivation in the language course and thus to promote more effective learning. You say internet. The student can most effectively acquire a second language when the task of the language learning becomes incidental to the task communicating with some if content with a high level of interest is chosen. Learners many acquire language more willingly, say for Anglican and Tucker. Next. Okay. Purpose. The purpose of activity is learn vocabulary about animals and understand some of their characteristics. The instructions are 1. Language analysis. For example, list of content and discussion of vocabulary. 2. Preparation. Preview a video and collect data and vocabulary. 3. Discussion. The teacher leads a discussion about the video and its characteristic vocabulary bully. Finally, the evaluation is very important. For the student learning is evaluate and practice is recommended. The practice is important. For this activity, we see the animals. For this point, for the 1 point is the definition of animal. The student define the animal concept. For the 2 point is what what is the favorite animal? The student define what is your favorite animal. The next point is a video. The student watch the video and classify animals according to their habitat. For example, terrestrial, aerial, aquatic. In this activity, we see the video and we socialize with the student. This topic is very important for the student because here learn the animals. For example, here the student repeat with me each animal, one for one. Finally, the student present two activity in the link live worksheet. Eat animals. Thank you. Thank you. But let's not forget the importance of this method in the development of learning a second language, since the contents are an essential part for the acquisition of knowledge. Finally, there are many contents that help us with this learning. In addition to this, we can accompany it with other didactic in cooperative materials. Okay, thank you.